And joining us now are the boys and their moms, Alex Lamson with his mom Colleen and Dane Zdunich with his mom Leslie. Thank you so much for coming in today. Your story is just incredible. And Dane, let me start out with you. I know you probably can't remember much about that moment, but what do you remember?
Just things at school that day, a few things such as our statistics class. We actually discussed the odds of lightning specifically striking the school again.
That day?
As it had the day before.
Wow.
But we discussed lightning that day in statistics.
So nothing about when you were outside and the lightning hit. What's the first thing you do remember?
Waking up in the hospital a couple days after that.
Did you have any idea what happened?
I had to be told so many times.
How about you, Alex?
What I remember that day? The only thing I remember that day is I remember walking out of the school, and my friend Brittany, I asked her for a ride, and she said, "Oh no, we're going to Pizza Factory." And then I had a nice shirt on, so she stretched it out, and I got really mad about that. But little did I know it was going to be incinerated.
It's amazing the things you remember, right? And then when you came to?
I remember coming to. Everything was yellow because my eyes were burned, so everything was yellow. And there was these little Filipino ladies scrubbing my burns because it blew out my knuckles, and they were scrubbing those. And I was in a bed that was too small for me, and my dad was standing over me, so I kind of thought I was in hell. Because he was standing over me, but...
Judging or what?
Yeah, he was like standing over me, and I said, "Dad, help me," and he didn't do anything, so...
He's going to pay for that one. But Leslie, I can only imagine what it must have been like for you. You were telling us earlier that basically for 38 minutes, Dane was, for all intents and purposes, dead.
Right, and I'm glad I didn't know that at the time, but when they first took us in to see the boys, he was on a flat board. They rolled him up to take that out from under him, and the blood had pooled in the back of his body, so... At first we thought it was bruising, and then later we found out he was actually dead for that long. So.
Could you believe it?
No, it was a, excuse me, it was a shock. And Alex was burned most of his body, about 40% of his body, so the smell, the first time I saw him, was horrific. And to see him, it was just unbelievable. Still to this day, I can't believe they were struck by lightning.
And Alex, even though you were hit second, we think the lightning came through, Dane,
it hit both of us at the same time.
Same time?
Lightning bolts aren't like tiny, they're large across, so it hit both of us.
And you've had a pretty tough road back, but you're looking okay now. Tell us about what's been the hardest part about it.
Not being able to open a bottle of water. I can't do much. Like, to use a mouse on a computer, I have to move it with this hand and click with this hand because my finger, that's about the I mean, you should have seen it at the hospital. My hand was like that, and I couldn't move it at all, but now I can kind of
So you're moving it around a little bit now, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to get better. It's just taking a while.
And Dane, most of your injuries are actually internal.
Yeah, that's correct.
And you had to struggle with your weight, I know, at first. You putting it back on now?
Yeah, it's been a lot better. My internal injuries, I had some pancreas damage, which does some things with digestion. Made it so it was hard for me to digest things without pain.
So how does this change your life, and what's next for you?
Well, for both of us, it's been really interesting. I think it's changed both of us significantly. Now it's just really just getting back to where we were and trying to go back and getting back into school and etc.
What's next for you, Alex?
I just have to graduate in May, and then after I graduate, I'm going to go to Dixie College in the fall. And then I'll just wait to recover, and then that's next for me.
Wait to recover and work to recover, and boys, you look great.
Thank you.
Right now, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's really terrific.